So we're a pro-life advocacy group that believes in prenatal justice and the right to life of preborn children. And we have to innovate alternative forms of mass media, because at almost every level of civil society, the reality of what abortion represents is being covered up. And we would have routinely stood on street corners and public sidewalks in the city centre, but our opposition would bring bed sheets or rainbow flags or other paraphernalia to cover up, to block, to censor our messaging. So we were driven to find locations where it would be much more difficult to hide and cover up our signage. And we've identified the bridges on the N7, the overpass, as being key. Sorry, I gotta stop. I gotta find out what's going on here. Sorry, you're gonna. Right, so I'm sorry we were interrupted there, but I'll tell you what just happened. We had members of Angada Shiakana come and demand the names and details of our display participants. It's our contention that this sort of intimidating behavior has a chilling effect on expressive rights and makes it incredibly difficult to recruit people to do this sort of work, who are willing to do this sort of work, when law enforcement officers are demanding personal details or metric data. It makes them feel like they're doing some criminal activity. What happened during these interactions, quite strangely, in a bizarre turn, is that we said, when we discovered, to take a step back here for a moment, I don't know where I left it off at, but what happened here is we were standing on the overpass, facing towards the traffic, because that's one of the few places we can still stand where our signs aren't being covered up. And what we discovered was that Angada Shiakana were claiming that our signage had inspired multiple complaints from members of the public. We don't deny this. Doesn't matter where we stand. If we stand outside the seat of democracy at Leinster House, it still inspires complaints from members of the public. But simply because an otherwise lawful activity inspires complaints from oppositional members of the public does not make that activity unlawful. And we tried to reason with these members of Angada Shiakana in that way and provide them with correspondence that we've given to the Commissioner's Office and that we know we've supplied previously to members of Angada Shiakana when they were carrying out an investigation. So what happened was, well, we said, how many complaints do you require before you decide that the activity becomes unlawful or you're required to investigate? And they didn't give us a clear answer. Well, I said, in that case, we'd like to make a complaint about a sign that was draped over the railing here a few minutes ago because we find it offensive. And our whole contention for doing that was not to be vindictive. We wanted to prove a point that simply because a sign is offensive doesn't make that activity unlawful, simply because it becomes disfavored speech in the eyes of a member of the public doesn't mean that it suddenly provokes the Public Order Act. It's still protected by the Irish Constitution. Surely this is what free speech is all about. And in a strange turn of events, the same members of Angada Shiakana went and discussed it with the owner of the sign and started requesting his name and details. I don't know if he provided them, but he suddenly stormed up here with a knife, a carpenter's knife, and removed the sign from off the railing. And I gently and politely said to him, "Sir, you should defend your right to express your point of view, even if it causes offense to members of the public." So we find this whole thing quite ironic. We don't think Angada Shiakana or many of the public understand what expressive rights are and how they're protected by the Irish Constitution. And we're interested in both defending and exercising our expressive rights, and we intend to continue to do so.
Yeah, she does, under Section 24 of the Public Order Act.
So,
listen, we're just getting everyone's name and address here, and
yeah,
we're just leaving then, okay, after that.
That's fine, you can take name address.
Yeah.
Some of our display participants are happy to provide their details, others have a right to withhold it and choose not to provide it.
They don't under Section 24.
Well, Section 24 says reasonable grounds. Our contention is this isn't reasonable grounds.
Our contention is we've got so many calls that there might be a breach of the peace here.
Yeah.
So because we're hope to alleviate that fears, look, we're standing down, we're moving then after this, and I'm going back to base anyway.
That's fine. I'm the display lead. I'm happy to provide you my details. Some of our display participants.
We are entitled under Section 24 of the Public Order. There's a power of arrest for failing or refusing to provide an address.
Okay, well then arrest someone for refusing to give their. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm saying some of our display participants. That's fine. And I'm saying I can't speak for my display participants. Some of them may decide that they wish to withhold it, and it's our contention they have a right to withhold it. You can. That's fine. That's understand.
grounds. Okay?
That's fine.
I believe we've reasonable
Okay.
grounds because we have got so many calls into our organisation in the last, since you've set up here, roughly about an hour ago, that there could be a breach of the peace due to the absentee of the pictures. And now I know you've told me everything, and I respect what you've said to me, and we're checking all this on base, alright? So we just want to get everyone's name address.
That's fine. I understand your position.
Okay.
So, and I'm saying to you, some of our display participants are happy to provide their metric data, others are not happy to provide it, and that's up to them to decide what they wish to do. So it's up to you, Maria, if you want to provide it or you have a right to withhold it. All right. I'll just wait for them to move along and then we'll continue the interview. As I said to him earlier, it's up to yourself. I'm happy to provide my name and details. Not everyone is happy to give their metric data to unguarded Shikana. It's entirely up to you. If you choose not to, you have a right to withhold it. But it's up to you. I know they contend that. Our contention is this is not a reason. We see this as a sign of intimidation frequently. That Gardaí come up, demand the names and addresses of all our people. It has a chilling effect on expressive rights. But you have a right to withhold, or you have a right to give it. And they claim they can arrest us if we don't. But I'd like to see them try. Which has reasonable grounds to believe we've committed a crime, which we haven't. What reasonable grounds?
I've already made my point. It's just
Yeah.
of the images here.
Yeah.
The sensitivity of the whole image
and your
and the vote is tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's our reasonable grounds because we feel there might be a breach of the peace.
I see this as utterly unreasonable. I think our rights should be vindicated of all times before referendum. That a countervailing opinion on abortion is not being permitted to express it freely. How many complaints do you need before you go around to the Yes campaigners and demand their names and details? How many complaints?
We have got. That's not me to tell you.
Well, exactly. But you clearly have a threshold.
Cars have gone by here.
That's why they're here, and that's why we're here. We're reaching audience. Yeah. And I'm asking you, how many complaints do you need for their names and details to be demanded?
That's why we're asking under the Public Order Act.
Yeah.
Reasonable grounds.
Yes.
Reasonable grounds because we believe there could be a breach of the peace.
But not from us.
Under the Public Order Act.
But not from us. We're peacefully standing.
As a whole.
No. It's people who are perpetrating a breach of peace. They're the ones who need to be cautioned, not us.
Well, listen to me. We're just doing our job.
Okay, I understand.
It's hard to get like here to cause any issues.
I know you're trying to do your job, and I understand you're in a rock and a hard place. But yes, I understand that. But we have to.
Here is a name and address. And under Section 24 of the Public Order Act, there is a power of arrest if someone fails to identify who they are to a member of unguarded Shield.
Yeah, that's fine. And our contention is that it's not reasonable grounds, and we'll fight that in court. And yes, yes, I understand that. I understand you have to do your job. So do your job, and we'll do ours. Okay? Yes, I understand. No, we're not. We're not. Yeah, but that's fine. But I'm telling you, demanding the names and details of members of the public who are trying to express an opinion has a chilling effect on expressive rights. It dissuades people from joining us because you obtain metric data. That's fine, but it is our problem. It is our problem. Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
You're standing in a public place.
That's fine.
I am acting as my duties as a member of the
That's fine.
Under Section 24 of the Public Order Act, that we are requesting to get the names and addresses of people here.
Oh, gee, Kieran, this is just sick. Our opposition are loving it. They're cackling at us over there in the background. There, the three of them there. They're with the Yes campaign. It's their banner. They just love this. They love us being given grief.
Yes, but don't mind. What does it matter?
I know. It's not me I'm worried about. It's the volunteers. They don't like being intimidated.
I got that completely right.
Is that okay? Now, I'd like to make a complaint. I suspect that if that sign is not removed, I fear that I or someone I know about may potentially cut that sign down and provoke it. That belongs to our opposition. They're the ones who complained. This is us. That's our opposition sign. Now, I suspect I heard someone say they might cut that sign down unless it's taken down. So I'd like to make a complaint about this sign here.
And who do you suspect is going to...
Well, just a member of the public.
How do you know they're your opposition?
Oh, the guy even said that's his sign just there, the guy with the hat.
Yeah, well look, we're here for today. If you're going to put me down... You say, Sean, you're going what, after 2 hours anyway?
2 to 3 hours, that's us. But I'm saying now, the shoe's on the other foot, right? I'd like to make a complaint about that sign. Listen to me, I'd like to make a complaint about that sign.
What's your complaint?
My complaint is that I find it offensive.
Okay. So we'll go over and take
We'll take their
Thank you. Yeah. At least it's consistent, yeah.
We're only here to
Precisely, and you've got to investigate. If this is how it rolls,
Roughly 2 3
Yep.
That's grand. We'll talk to them.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
No problem. Thank you. Bye bye.
You mind moving away with that, please?
Yeah, listen to me, you don't need to be here, okay?
You mind moving away?
No, you don't need to be here, please. You don't need to be here.
I'm making a documentary.
No,
listen
to me. No, please.
You do not have my permission.
I'll talk to this, okay? You don't have permission. You can't put someone's face on camera if you don't have permission.
I want to make sure that...
Yeah.
Do I have permission to film you?
No, I don't. No, I don't really want you filming me when I'm talking to this man. Look, I respectfully let you film me up there. I didn't mind. I seen you doing it the whole time, okay? This is just another thing, okay? Well, she's down talking to him. I don't mind. Okay, is that all right, sir? Please, okay. We don't want to cause a scene here. We don't want to be confrontational.
Okay.
We're just doing our job. Thank you, Urs.
We could all make a complaint about the sign. At least that way we're being consistent. You should defend your expressive rights, sir.
You do not have a right to film me. I am not giving you permission to film me. If you're speaking to me, yes, I'm filming my colleague over there. I'm filming my colleague over there.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I don't have to. But
yeah, I know. I'm just talking to this man.
no problem. Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Yes. It was important, yeah. I said respectfully, you should defend your expressive rights, what I said to him.
But they should fight to have their banner.
So are you telling me that he's probably unwilling to give his details and that's why he took it down? I suspect she said, well, what's your name and your address? And he's like, no, I'll take down my sign. So they don't want to give their names and addresses. You see how intimidating it proves, I'd love to know what the conversation was, but it proves that the moment you ask for names and details, it has a chilling effect on expressive rights. But they're wimps. They should have defended their right to show their sign. I would have defended their right to show their sign. I didn't ask for it to be taken out. I said I'd like to make a complaint because I find it offensive, which I do. I find it offensive. But my point was, the reason, just because it's offensive doesn't mean it's unlawful. And they took down their sign. It's just,